Good morning. We're going to talk about trucking, and we're going to talk about the 123 Loadboard, and then we'll talk about everything or nothing. It depends on how you look at it. Right after this, give it a couple minutes. That's how long the intro is. And then get in here and we'll talk about it. All right. Good morning. Man, I got the cough going on this morning. So let's see. This won't be, we probably won't go past 8 because I got a doctor's appointment I got to deal with. So let's do this here. Save. All right. So good morning. I hope all is well. I hope you figured it out. I hope that you guys had a good Thanksgiving if that's what you did. And I hope you had profit if that's what you were doing, if you're running. Visited with one of our drivers that was coming through Springfield, and we had a good conversation. I think he made some coins, so that was good. If you were working over the weekend, if you booked the right way and you had some leverage, so you probably made a little bit of cash. But also, you probably dealt with some bad weather there out in the Midwest there, through Kansas. I think Wichita got nailed. Kansas City got a little bit of it. But anyways, we got a couple of announcements. Well, we'll get into it. We'll get some more people in here, so I'm not double talking. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things, and then we'll also go over the Loadboard stuff. But my weekend was okay. The wife was not feeling good up until the day before Thanksgiving, and then she was feeling better, and so she cooked up this great meal. Been off the rails for a minute for the no carb stuff, but we're back on, so we're good. And that's okay. It's okay to splurge a little bit, and it makes you realize just how it makes you feel, right? I wanted to go over some changes with the 123 Loadboard. An email that I got, I believe, on Friday or Saturday, and also go over some stuff that another email that I got that might affect you, might not. If you're dealing with 100% with brokers, it's a perception. It's a perception Well, no, hold on. It's a perspective / intention. That I was getting my words mixed up. Thing to kind of think about. And so yeah. So anyways, I know some of you are struggling right now, and it's a good idea to figure out why you're struggling right now. And if you just blame the rates and the conditions, then you got to look a little bit deeper. So, they let's let's go to this comment right here. CDN says, "Good morning, Steve. I need to apologize to you and your viewers. I stated the need to reduce your cost in 2024. Apparently, it's not so easy to get reduced insurance and shop rates. See part 2. As soon as part 2 pops up, we'll read it. Yeah, there's no apology necessary. I think that a lot of us YouTubers sit here and say reduce your costs, reduce your costs. Well, when I say reduce your costs, I'm talking about not buying a truck that costs you $4,000 a month. Not putting yourself in a personal situation where you need to increase your salary. I think that's where a lot of people mess up. Is if you're a company driver and you make so much per mile, like let's say you make 50 cents a mile, you're going to get about what, $55,000 a year, right? And depending on how much you're driving, how hard your company works you, but I'm just going by a company that gets you home every weekend or every other weekend. You're getting about 55 grand a year. Okay, you wouldn't go out and buy a new BMW. You wouldn't go out and buy a new F-250 that cost 100 grand. You wouldn't go out and buy a $200,000 house because of your salary. And that's the big mistake a lot of owner operators make is, hey, you know what? I'm now grossing $265,000 with my own authority. Yeah, but what's your salary? What are you paying yourself? That's what you base your home bills off of. And that's the part that a lot of people don't get. So when I talk about reducing costs, that's what I'm talking about. So let's do part 2. I still believe that smaller carriers do need to find ways to lower your rates 2024. I understand it won't be easy, but you should try. Well, it'll be necessary because if you go back to that Freight Waves interview I talked about on my members only feed, the one that Eric kind of highlighted, the shippers only have 2 goals: to move their product and to lower their costs. And because they got hammered the crap out of them when our rates were sky high, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that that never happens again. So all of you that are waiting for the next, positive wave, it's probably not going to be enough to rescue your business if you're thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in the debt. I mean, if you're going to be thousands of dollars in the debt, why you might as well just get a loan for your kid's college education and spend your money there. And that's the thing. It's trucking is so volatile that reducing your costs, yeah, we can all say you reduce your costs, yeah, but and your intention was good, CDN, but there are things that you can reduce. And I'll give you an example. So let's say you've got a $4,000 or $5,000 a month truck note, which is insane. But let's say that's where you're at. Let's say you had no other choices, right? So you're really reliant. If you get a truck that high, you better have a killer warranty. But here's the thing. If you've got a 6-year or 7-year note, and that truck warranty doesn't cover for the length of that loan, that last 2 years, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Not to mention, you're going to be upside down in that truck for, 4 years. And if you're putting a ton of miles on it because that's the only way you can afford it, well, guess what? You're not able to put money aside for the big breakdowns that happen after the warranty is up, or for equipment replacement. Let's say you're like, every 5 years, I'm going to get a new truck, which is a strategy that a lot of carriers use to minimize their cost on repairs and things of that nature. The problem is COVID, what did it do? Oh, well, this $160,000 truck is now $200,000. And so they got you by the gonads there too. It not leaving any meat on the bone for funerals, for sicknesses, for downtime, and for equipment replacement. And no one thinks of that. And so when I talk about reducing your costs, the best thing that you can do, one of the best things you can do is to put so much money down on a truck that the payments are manageable and get the best warranty you can. If you want to pay $4,000 a month, well, maybe it's for 3 years. 3 years is a little bit more manageable. And if you got a 6-year warranty, well, that gives you 3 years after the payments to build up the money for the next truck. So that's smart to me. I did not put money aside to replace that because I knew that I wasn't going to replace it. I knew that was it. I almost replaced it, and that would have been a bad move. Well, it would have been okay. I probably would have made like $20,000 off the deal. But because I could have bought the truck for $145,000, because that's what it was priced at. The one I looked at was priced at $145,000 because nobody was buying trucks at that moment. And probably turned around and sold it for $165,000 a year later. Because they were desperate for trucks, because there was a shortage. And that kind of volatility they're trying to eliminate too. Now, anybody who's paying attention to the used market knows that it's starting to get flooded, and come January, February, it's going to be worse. It's going to be more. You want to buy equipment? January, February is your time to shine. But things that you have to be aware of are coming down the line, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So, fuel is a cost that you can control to a certain degree. Your right foot is your best fuel saving device. How you got your truck set up is a good fuel saver. And if you have no control over your fuel mileage, well, then I hope you're doing specialized freight where the fuel surcharge kicks in. So there's one way. Paying attention to your IFTA, paying attention to your fuel prices, having a good fuel card, your right foot. These are all tools to lower your fuel costs. Maintenance and repair, that's warranties, are the thing. That's how business is done now. That's just how it is. If not, you could be spending 30, 40 grand in 1 year on a truck. And that's not including an engine rebuild or an in-frame. That is just solely because of DPF and sensors. And, you got to realize that, your oil might be good, but radiators blow. I know 3 people have blown the radiators in the last month. Plastic and rubber, they wear out. So you start having air leaks. You start having wiring issues. A wire harness for a T680 is pretty high up there in cost. ECMs go out. It's not just the metal mechanical items that need replacing. And of course, the DPF, well, we all know how much of a bank account drainer that is. Out of all the money I've spent on this truck, DPF was the biggest one. SCRs and filters and the cost of DEF is up. And what else? Sensors, NOx sensors. DEF pumps. I don't think I ever replaced a DEF pump in that truck, but it was probably getting ready to happen. It was an 8-year-old truck. So and so these are, so when CDN talks about cost, his intention's good. He just doesn't, he just didn't realize the depth of it, but I mean, his words are still valid because he's trying to help you all because he sees what's coming down the line. And there's a few things coming down the line that's going to be the new normal. And you got to be aware of that. Because if you're not, you're toast. The way that you've been doing business for the last 10 years is not going to work unless you make some adjustments, unless you accept the reality of what's actually happening. It's not just a market condition we're talking about. We're talking about a new platform of market. So, the old school of why and how freight is moved is changing. And all the technology is out there against you, including AI. And you hear these big corporations talk more and more about it. And I'm going to show you an example here in a second. So we'll do some shout outs and then we'll get into what I was going to talk about. I can stop coughing. Cheap Freight Hauler, good morning. Don Shonger, good morning. Jose, good morning, sir. Gen Z, what's up? Tom, what's up? Good talking to you yesterday. Or was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. The other day. John, what's up? Good morning. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I hope so too, man. Nathaniel, what's up? Rest Area Raccoon, coffee. Mr. Charles, good morning. Truck with T-Bone, good morning. And then we already went over CDN's comments. Thank you for being in here. And that's the thing. I understand it won't be easy, but you should try. That's true. Dying Breed, what's up? Good morning. Reduce your costs. Quit buying that fancy toilet paper, single ply, people. That's one way to save money. Greg Zimmer, good morning. Good morning, all. My last day in an easy chair today. Much reflecting the last few days. Stay safe, everyone. Luke 2:11. Good on you, Alfalfa. Henry Duncan, good morning. Food Mooch, what's up? You will always be Food Mooch, the croupy guy at 3:30 in the morning trying to get in my truck. But we love you. I see some truckers don't pre-trip and therefore don't catch and fix small problems before they become big problems. I'm routinely, preemptively replacing things in my driveway. That is one way to reduce your costs, yes. But the problem is a lot of people are not doing the pre-trips because they're afraid of doing their pre-trips because they know they can't afford anything if something pops up. Which is why if you're a carrier fleet owner, you need to be implementing 90-day inspections on your drivers. Because if they can't afford repairs, you're going to find out pretty quickly, and you got to cut them out. Because if they can't afford the repairs, they are a risk to you and your carrier. If you're sitting at a truck stop right now and you can't even afford a tire flat repair, you need to quit. You need to leave. Because you are a risk to your carrier. You are a risk to yourself. And obviously something's not working right. And you need to address the situation. That is the harsh truth. I'm getting tired of watching people slowly kill themselves over a damn truck. I am tired of watching people destroy their families over a damn truck. Because the heart attack and the anxiety and the overall general mental health is not worth it. You want to be a businessman? Act like a businessman or woman. You want to be an entrepreneur? Act like one. And being in a situation where you can't even afford a tire repair, that, or or an oil change or a PM, you're not long for this world. And you need to make some adjustments. That needs to be a wake-up call. Hey, I can't even afford this tire repair. I dispatched a driver a couple of years or last year that was in that scenario. He lost out on driving over Memorial Day weekend, which I had a load ready booked that could have made $5,000 at that point. And he couldn't do it because he couldn't afford a tire repair. He had other issues with his truck. So his carrier, it wasn't one of our trucks, it was an outside carrier I was dispatching, put him out of service. And he had to sit there for 4 days in a truck stop waiting for his settlement to come in for the last load he did so he can even get the truck looked at. And I was constantly trying to coach this person who was pretty much uncoachable. And you know what? He's dead now. Because he couldn't handle the stress. He had this anxiety. He couldn't get out of his own way. And I'm seeing this over and over and over. You got to fix things. And the DOT knows this. The DOT knows that you can't afford your repairs. They know that you're putting stuff off. And guess what? They're inspecting the hell out of the trucks and putting you out of service, which means your insurance goes up. So just the simple act of a good pre-trip can keep your costs from going up. It can keep your insurance from going up. Well, lo and behold, if you get too bad, DOT will shut you down permanently. What good's that? Now you got a truck payment and no way to make money with it. That doesn't seem like a smart idea. And I'm tired of coddling people that just need to leave because you're bringing the rates down, you're bringing the capacity down. And you are a risk. You are no longer an asset. Reduce your costs, quit buying Doritos and Mountain Dew. That is absolutely true. DIY Semi, good morning. Let's see. John, you know what's crazy? You can get a 2021 Freightliner for around $50,000 right now, and a brand new pickup truck costs in the 70, depending on the options. Yes, $70,000 to $90,000. Yep, Mrs. A, that's food mooch. This weekend I was visiting a friend who owns a 2X Super B hopper bottoms. His first comment was running the same lane to know exactly how much diesel he burns. That is another idea for 2024. This is true. Know your markets, know your areas. Know that like fuel in Pennsylvania is going to be higher than, Missouri. And you know what? I got a friend, one of our drivers who runs predominantly Pennsylvania, and guess what? He gets paid. He gets paid during the quarterly IFTA because he recognizes the system and he utilizes it. He's made all the right moves. He's got a brand new truck, fairly new truck with a good warranty, a killer warranty, His payments are about $2,300 a month. That's manageable. And you know what? Now he's not slaving over that truck. Now he's home for the holidays for his kids. Red Monkey Trucking, good morning. John says, Horseshack. Fate Trucking, member for 13 months. Thank you. Good morning from cold Minnesota, currently 10 degrees. It's been chilly here too. Jason, good morning. I thought of you yesterday. I saw a Facebook video of that place in Brooklyn where the trucks are on that turntable to go through the tunnels. I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought, man, I wonder if Jason's done that. Roamland Services, good morning. One thing to help with airlines is to turn your governor down, since turning mine down from 138 to 128 last year has had no air leaks. Wow, that's interesting. I've never heard that. CDN, I always appreciate your advice and humbleness. Good morning to everyone, says Don, who's in here late. CDN, it's 5 weeks. It will be 2024, and you can now use last year's rates when comparing posted rates. Red Monkey saying hi to T-Bone. T-Bone replying, running the roads like a hoodlum. There you go. Hashtag facts. DIY, you funny guy. I think when snow alert gets spicy, DIY semi is in the house. I'm always spicy. And there is nothing wrong with being a company driver. Because if you have a choice of being a company driver or having a $5,000 a month truck note, hoping that you can make some money, who has more freedom? Now, if you're an owner-operator with no truck payment, with a good platform to make money with, then you probably have some freedom, as an entrepreneur should. But also being an entrepreneur means that you got to make sacrifices. DIY is a carrier fleet owner. And guess what? He's still in the truck. He's still making things move because he wants what's best for his drivers. He's still moving freight to service the accounts that are going to let him cruise through the next wave of lower rates. That's how business is done. But there's nothing, I mean, if you listen to someone say, if you're just a company driver, correct that person, because there's nothing wrong with being a company driver. I brought more money into my house as a company driver than being owner op, and I knew that coming in. That's the key, cheap freight hauler. That's the reality that most people fail to see. You're saving up for a pine tree air freshener. Well, if you have 20 of them, you don't have to clean out your truck. It's great. I would take business courses before ever considering driving my own truck, says Red Monkey. I don't see too many completely leaving driving. It won't make overall rates better just for people to switch from owner op to company that are still hauling freight. True. But when I say leave, I guess I mean as an owner op. So Gentry and Sons has 2 Freightliners under 1 million miles, less than 50,000 each. Red Monkey, you can get a Freightliner for about 50 right now with like under 500. Jose says that's why I stay in the same 2 states, keep my overhead low as possible. Me too. The Barclays Center. Yep. I started in 2019. I think rates are better now than when I started. Gifted 1 snow alert. Oh, thank you, DIY. You're so generous. Thank you. Will only be 75 today. Need a sweater. Quick hit. What's up? Tolga, what's up? All right. So I want to, and this is what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. All right, so I'm going to share the screen with you. This is an email I got this morning. And this is why I'm telling you that there's going to be a new normal. And right now you're just going through a transitional period, okay? This is from Spot Freight. Spot Freight the brokerage. Okay. I want to read this to you just in case you're driving. Which, if you're driving, better not be texting in the chat. That's lame. Hey, Steve, we get it. Being a dispatcher means constantly juggling tasks and staying on top of your game. Waiting for broker responses can slow you down, and time is money in the logistics game. So let me stop right there, okay? So you have to read between the lines, okay? Instead of having 20 agents that have to answer phones, now they only have to have 5 that just look at computer screens. But they make it sound like it's your benefit. Oh, do you hate not being answered? Do you hate not, being able to get a hold of someone on the phone? Do you hate our weaknesses? Well, guess what? We hate our weaknesses too. And so we're going to make it look like it's to your benefit. But in reality, it's to ours to a certain degree. Back to the email. That's why we've just launched our fully automated bid management system for spot loads. What's in it for you? Quick answers. When you place a bid, you'll instantly know if we can match your desired rate. Here's how it works. If we can match your rate, congratulations, the load is yours. If not, no worries. You can move on with your search without looking back. This new system is all about efficiency and putting you in control. Try it out and experience a smoother, bidding process. Bid smarter, bid faster, and keep those wheels turning. This is from LoadSmart. I said Spot earlier. I meant LoadSmart. They have an app now, and they just announced that they won't be on DAT. So guess what? See, here's the thing. They don't want to talk to you. If you put this insane rate for like 2,000 for a load that is normally around 1,000, the system's automatically they're going to do the digital equivalent to hanging up on you. It also gives them an advantage of reaching the people that don't have clear English speaking skills on the phone. And also it keeps them from having to outsource for the most part and reduce their costs, reduce their workforce. Again, because instead of having 30 agents answering phones and doing the footwork, now they can concentrate that money on sales and maybe 5 people watching computer screens. With AI saying, hey, if it goes above here, automatically reject. You ever notice that if you bid on JB Hunt or Coyote or Uber, they come back with an odd number? So if you're looking at a load that they've got priced at 1,000 and you ask for 1,500, what do they come back with? $1,032. That's a computer doing that. That's not some guy with a sense of humor going, I'm going to go up $32. Let's see what they do. No, that's a computer doing that. And so this is your new normal. Computers, AI. They've talked about it at length. This is what these corporations want to do, and the companies that are able to implement this kind of stuff, they're going to have the advantage over the mom and pop broker that's actually doing the footwork. It's actually got like reliable information. And the advantage you have to this is now you can go to their board and like you got the times, you got the locations, you got everything you need to make a balanced decision. But that's kind of hard to do when you're driving, right? That's kind of hard to do when maybe you don't have a signal. It's kind of hard to do if you don't download LoadSmart's app. And so what it does, it gives them security. It gives them the ability to haggle with drivers that may not be able to speak very well. And if your rate is outrageous beyond what the AI is telling them they need to price it at, then it automatically rejects you. No harm, no foul. That's your new normal. That's what you're going to deal with if you're running 100% spot market. LoadSmart doesn't care about your costs. They don't care about what lanes you're trying to run in, other than only if it brings them an advantage. LoadSmart doesn't care that, labor is $200 to $250 an hour. LoadSmart don't care that fuel went up or if it goes down. If it goes down, the AI says, hey, man, you can make this lower because now the trucks are running for lower amounts. And then, CDM brings a great point here. When a brokerage uses an app only, it means it's a means to reduce fraud, double brokering, as a carrier has to be pre-qualified to view their app. Yes, it's a security issue as well. So our own industry is our own enemy. We are our own worst enemy. With all the fraud going on and the ability to streamline and not have to answer 20 calls. As a broker, they don't want to answer 20 calls from a Loadboard spot post. It's the last thing they want to do. They'd rather call a carrier up and email the dispatch and say, hey, person with 20 trucks, what can I do for you? That way I don't have to post this crap on the Loadboard and haggle with drivers that don't even know how to price their stuff. Or possibly use a carrier that is out of business because they can't afford a tire repair. Oh, and by the way, I know that you're a trusted carrier because we've already vetted you, and so I know you're not going to double broker my crap. That's the new normal. That's what you have to adjust. That's what you have to adapt to. And that's the reality. Love it or leave it. That's the game you've joined. And so you're literally, if you're counting on a ton of money to pay for your truck repair or to pay for your truck payment and all the bills associated with that you have at home, and you don't want to rely on computers, you don't want to rely on the AI, you're going to have to form a relationship with something and somebody that isn't relying on this. But I guarantee that majority of the shippers, unless it's specialized, are going to this system. We had contract stuff for $3 a mile out of Denver. It's now down, reduced to $2.35 a mile. They didn't care about our customer service. The shipper did, but the broker didn't. The shipper was like, oh, we're losing you guys? Yeah. Well, why? We gave him the reasons. Like, oh, well, that sucks. And there's nothing anybody could do about it because the people that make decisions, we weren't in that loop. So these are the things you got going against you. And costs are going up. So that brings me to my next announcement, which I'm not happy about, but anyways, let's I'm going to read this. I'm not going to show it on the screen. This is from Lauren at 123 Loadboard. I'm writing to inform you about an upcoming change in our carrier subscription pricing that will affect customers. The price increase will happen over 2 phases between November 29th and December 4th of 23 to accommodate new and existing users. The last time we adjusted our carrier subscription pricing was about 10 years ago. Since then, our costs of operation have significantly increased due to various factors, including inflation, rising overheads, and investments in improving and expanding our Loadboard services. We have made substantial investments in product development to ensure that we can offer cutting edge features, enhanced performance, and an overall better user experience, including the top rated Loadboard app in the industry. We always strive to offer the highest quality service, and this increase is necessary to ensure that we can continue to meet expectations and maintain the same level of excellence. So, in short, 123 Loadboard's raising their rates. And because I'm completely transparent and I want to be honest with you, I'm not, I'm telling you this, Phase 1, new signups effective November 29th, 2023. Phase 2, existing members effective December 4th, 2023. As of November 29th, the following rates will be in effect for all new signups. And as of December 4th, 2023, the following rates will be in effect for all members. Users that are in a trial period will have their current pricing honored for 3 months. So you got 3 months of leverage if you just signed up. Standard is going to go from $35 a month to $39 a month. Premium is going to go from $45 to $59 a month. Premium Plus is going to be $55 to $79. My code is still there. My promo code will no longer offer a discount. My promo code will continue to offer a 30-day trial rather than the regular 10-day trial available to our site. And then it gives me my rates. So there you go. So everybody's struggling. Everybody's having to make adjustments. Everybody's trying to get their costs down. And sometimes the way to do that is to raise your rates. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where you can raise your rate all you want as a truck driver, as an owner-op, but is it really going to help if you can't, right? AI training is a nice side hustle if you can type. What if I can't type, though? What am I doing, right? DIY Semi did an anti-gel video a while. That's very interesting. Yes, he did. Yes, I agree. They want AI, but the brokers that do that are taking on a big risk when you start looking at the stats. It seems like we just had a rash of internet or AI brokers filing bankruptcies. We'll see. It's like the electric truck or the self-driving trucks. Okay, you have to look at the intent, right? That's the key, right? So let's say LoadSmart, falls on their butt, falls on their ass, right? The other brokers are trying it too. They're trying to change the game. And if they're backed by smart people, they're going to make sure that it happens because it's all about profit. It's all about profit margin. And that's so it's money management as well. Convoy was taking a loss. It didn't put their resources in what was important, what drivers needed, what carriers needed. And at some point, somebody in the company gave up and said, you know what? This is a sinking ship. So we're not even going to try to solve this. Either way, it's one less broker that you got to work with. So that takes away some of your options. But if I call 20 brokers today trying to get a truck covered and only 5 answer their darn phones and maybe 2 answer in an email, I'm wasting my time. And the other thing is, if I call in a load, I've emailed brokers and had like a back and forth conversation like 6 times before they tell me what the freight actually is or tell me who the receiving customer is, so I know whether to book it or not. Like, if you would just explain everything in one shot. And so the brokers that don't do that, the brokers that don't give you information, or their reply to your email is, it picks up in Chicago, Illinois, delivers in Dallas, Texas, 1,200, what rate? That doesn't tell me anything. And then you reply, what time does it pick up? Picks up between 7 and 3, delivers any time. And then I reply back, what's the freight? FAK. Those brokers just need to be an automated system, because then I can just look at it and go, okay, this looks like a decent load. And so LoadSmart knows that. LoadSmart knows that, hey, you know what? We suck at replying and phone calls and stuff. That's hard. So guess what? Now you can just go on our website and concentrate our efforts in sales. And they're going to use the AI. They're going to use AI pricing, competitive market pricing to their shippers when they go in. And so if Rig Runner goes into one of these places, they go, what can you offer us? I don't know. We can offer personal service. Meanwhile, they're like, well, LoadSmart can do this, this, and this, and this, and this. So as a broker, maybe specialize is the way to go, unless you want volume. But even then, that has its challenges. Tennessee, what's up? Good morning. CN says, Steve, that shipper who was disappointed to lose your drivers was a warehouse or loader, but not a decision maker. Even their own company didn't notify the warehouse of changes coming. Right. And that's what people need to realize they're up against when you're trying to get direct shippers. Because the guy or gal that you want to talk to is probably sitting in an office 1,000 miles from that building, sipping their Starbucks frou-frou drink, looking at a list of numbers, and they're only interested in that. And if their shipping department has issues with carriers, well, that's their problem. They figure it out. That's what you're up against. But that's how trucking's done. It's trying to figure out who and what you could do for somebody else. Russell Freight, what's up? Desert Oak Japan, good morning. Become a bed bugger. Foreclosures incoming. Bed bugger, repo. If the military starts waking up a little bit, a lot of military families are going to be moving to different bases. That's a good bed bugger gig. Come on with it. Says ouch. Marty says happy Cyber Monday. Dreamer seat inflation, right? Good time to be a repo man. Also, see, LVC and I are thinking the shippers just need to post their loads directly and not use a broker. That tech is here. I'm scratching my head why they're even necessary any longer for general freight. I believe CDN sent me an app that sent me an email about that. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Let's talk about that. OB Sean. All right, share screen. All right. Truxit. Horrible name. New app brings freight brokerage into 21st century. Trucksit saw the flaws of the brokerage world and set out to solve them. Everybody's trying to solve a problem. That's how you make money. Freight brokerage has historically been characterized by costly overhead and littered with inefficiencies. This environment has led to suppressed carrier revenue and oversized shipper expenses. Trucksit, I think I'm pronouncing it right, has set out to change that. Our primary mission is to increase owner-operator pay by 7.5% average while reducing shipping costs by the same. Trucksit Chief Strategy Officer Kevin O'Brien said, "We're building a shorter bridge between shippers and carriers and streamlining the process versus the app. We're bringing freight brokerage into the 21st century." Now, I'm going to guarantee that Kevin O'Brien has probably never even set foot inside a truck. So there's that. Not that that matters. Does that matter? I don't know. The app is designed to help carriers, particularly owner-operators, bring in more revenue while simultaneously cutting down on some of the most common freight finding frustrations, including ghost loads and complicated pricing structures. Wonder how they're going to do that. When owner-operators download the app, they will gain access to real-time loads with upfront pricing without any costly gimmicks or strings attached. Trucksit's dedication to drivers goes beyond just getting their trucks loaded once. However, the company works to reduce deadhead by providing alternative load and delivery location options, further driving up revenue possibilities. Now, what they're failing to see with that is that a lot of owner-operators, especially ones that are self-dispatched, are going to do what they do. This anytime, anywhere stuff that Loadboards and analytics offer only work if you're willing to go anytime, anywhere. If you want to stay in a particular lane, that's how I ran. A lot of this stuff goes out the window. If you're about revenue at any cost, then this kind of the anytime, anywhere might be for you. Once a load is delivered, Trucksit continues to support drivers with paperless bills of lading and proof of delivery solutions. Owner-operators then can access their money quickly via the Trucksit Cash app. They want to control everything. They want to control your loads. They want to control where you go, and they want to control your money. Trucksit Cash offers secure and speedy financial transactions with payments processed within 2 hours, setting a new industry standard. So if you're hurting for cash, you do a load real quick, boom, you get paid 2 hours later. Meanwhile, you're still fighting TQL for that $150 tonu that they owe you. So kudos to them on that. According to the company's website, integrated into the Trucksit ecosystem, this platform enhances efficiency, cash flow management, and trust among stakeholders, reflecting Trucksit's commitment to revolutionizing the freight industry. The chief executive officer, Joe Stevens, said, taking our far-reaching support for drivers a step further, the company has launched Trucksit Shop, an e-commerce platform stocked with affordable, high-quality driver essentials from compression socks to truck organizers. They will have a reward program that allows drivers to earn currency that can be used on the site, allowing them to stock up on the things they need and want without spending their hard-earned cash. The app was not only created to help carriers make more money, but also designed to help shippers reduce costs. Some of the same things that ramp up driver earnings, like providing alternative delivery location options and reducing idle time, also benefit shippers by keeping their own operations running smoothly. With the app, shippers can also link loads to create a route, making it easy to make sure all the freight is moved in the most efficient way possible. Beyond operational gains, the app also helps shippers unlock sustainability wins. The app accomplishes this in a couple of different ways by reducing unnecessary paper usage and driving down fuel consumption via optimized routing options. These combined benefits can help shippers drive down carbon footprints. Okay, we're going to use the green thing for advertising here. At a time when consumers are more aware of the climate crisis and motivated by saving the planet than ever before, the benefits of this cannot be overstated. Ultimately, Truxit is on a mission to modernize the trucking industry by introducing a technological offering that creates a win-win situation for carriers and shippers alike. We're trying to pay more to those who move the world, drivers. We're in app registration mode so that we can cover the contiguous US when we push the go button on the app. Help us get the owner operator make more out of their hard-earned money while helping shippers reduce their costs. They want to be the middleman. They want to be the best of both worlds. But I don't know what that looks like. It's a great promise. If they can't pay the mortgage, it'll be hard to pay a mover. Especially U-Haul knockoff would be more profitable. That's true. Because shippers don't want hundreds of calls on each load. They don't know how to vet carriers. Add numerous carriers versus 1-2 brokers equals less work. Hope this helps explain. With what they are saving from cutting out the middleman, they deal with phone calls. They probably don't care how the bread is baked. They just want it, right? They just want their bread buttered. The cost of shipper to carrier is expensive when you have thousands of invoices instead of 10 or 20 invoices to brokers. And maybe that's what this Truxit app is wanting to do is they want to be the middleman, which in reality is what a broker is. If they knew that there was a way to save on freight, they would do it, but it would have to be an easy broker means one-stop shopping, no hassle. Shannon, good morning from New Hudson, Michigan. Nothing like coming out of the house to slippery road conditions. Made it to shipper, delayed by ice and snow traffic, but made it safe. Good deal. Obi Sean, if a shipper has 5 or 10 loads in a day and a driver is late, etc., they have to call each carrier versus 1 to 2 brokers. Same with tracking, POD. You have no idea how bad most carriers are. Yeah, Michigan is seeing some stuff today. Spend 1 week as a broker, and you'll quickly see why you want every carrier calling shippers. 9%, 7% of loads brokers have to babysit the carrier. Sean says, I'm not saying brokers don't provide a service. I'm saying with the technology today, the job is becoming redundant. Hell, major shippers could hire ex-convoy agents to run their new departments. CDN Devil's Advocate, there are a lot of things that can go wrong as a carrier to make us late to pick up delivery. Only a few within our control. Only one time I was late due to fault out of control. Awesome, Shannon. We wouldn't want anything happen to you that you need your safety coordinator for at the moment. Coffee is being consumed at a high rate this morning. Yes, Pale Rider. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And yeah, you're in the tank. You're specialized, so you don't deal with brokers. Wow, have they even met truck drivers? Says Tom. Convoy had raised $925 million investment money, all gone, right? See, but that's the thing. They're going to keep trying to change. You know, and for every convoy, there's going to be another one. And here's another app that's promising lower costs for shippers, higher rates for drivers. It's kind of like, you know, you go down the road, you go down the interstate, and this truck passes you. You know, and you flash your lights so he can come over because you're old school, right? And or you don't trust him. And on the back of that trailer it says, more money and more home time. And you get on the CB to say, hey, how is that possible to have more money and more home time? Isn't that kind of an oxymoron? But they don't answer because they're not running with their CB on. You have to look at the wording of these places. Now, I'm not saying what LoadSmart is doing is right or wrong. I'm not saying what Truxit is doing is right or wrong, or whether it's going to be successful or not. That's not the point. The point is that things are changing at a faster pace than you actually realize. And all the cards, all the info, all the digital all the digital information, everything on your Trucker Path app to your CH Robinson app to your Uber app to your macro point that the broker made you have. All of that is being used to benefit the shipper, to benefit the customer. And they throw you a couple of bones. Oh, here's the addresses. Here's your ability to bid to get a higher rate if you don't like our rate. Meanwhile, if the computer tells them they need to bring it down 20%, the computer will bring it down 20%. And the broker agent can't even get into that if it's within a certain time frame. My CH guy told me that. So that's what you have going against you. So going back to earlier my in this video when I first started, when I said that if you can't even afford a tire repair or an oil change, you have literally no idea what cards are stacked against you and what moves are being made to make sure that they profit over your profit. It's okay to punt the ball and figure out what you need to do. It's okay to sit there and evaluate, okay, how do I approach this new age? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Because if you're miserable in your life, if your home life sucks now, and you're not happy, and your health is going to crap, all because you're trying to stay in business, well, you need to figure this out. You need to know that the cards are stacked against you, and you have to work smarter, not harder. Because if you don't, you're going to be swallowed up and spit out. Chewed up and spit out, I guess. Come on, what it says, I laugh at all those stickers. I want to be treated like meat. Investors are burned down on autonomous trucks, and with Convoy, they will be wary to invest in click and go brokers. That is true if they're smart. But see, you take a big CH Robinson, they're click and go, and they use AI pricing now. And last year they reported highest profit earnings. This year they're showing a loss, which is why you have the layoffs, because it shows a reduction in that loss. So if you're an old school CH Robinson agent, you're probably sweating a little bit right now because you're being replaced slowly. LVC, exactly. They're having a few carriers that also have external funding and now closed. That will never happen again. Trucking logistics is not a great business from outside perspective. Yeah, you're not going to see this on Shark Tank. Think about this. Let's say you go to Shark Tank and like, yeah, I'm seeking however, whatever math you want to do for them. A truck costs $200,000. Authority insurance costs, between 10 and 20 grand. And then all these other external things, and then the whole, the regulations and all that. So I'm looking for $250,000. What do you expect the profit each year? Hopefully about 40 grand. They're going to laugh you right out of that building. They're going to go, I'm out. But yet people sign up for that every single day. Now, there's money to be made in trucking. And you might think you've got a handle on it now. But if you don't recognize the storm in the horizon, then when, like the ELD thing, a lot of people thought the ELD mandate wouldn't happen. I knew it was going to happen. And luckily I worked with a company that was one of the first ones to get on it, and I made my adjustments early. I knew how to utilize and manipulate and work through having e-logs. Well, manipulate's the wrong word. Like being able to sleep at customers to keep your time from starting, that kind of manipulation, not falsifying. Because e-logs can't be falsified. You can unplug it. Guess what? Your safety manager is going to know. The computer is going to say, oh, wow, your mileage went up 5,000 miles when your ELD was unplugged. An ELD mandate was not about safety. A lot of people argue, oh, it's not safe. You're right. It wasn't about safety. It was about compliance. It was about control. It was about making sure you're going to do what they want you to do, or at least know when you're not doing what they want you to do. It's as simple as that. And the people that refused that and did all these, fought hard against the government to try to get the mandate from happening, they did not adapt. And so when it came time to adapt, they had no idea. And everybody that had been running on e-logs for a while were like, we got this, man. Go off in the corner, figure it out. Just saying, since the economy is in the gutter, costs will be cut. The first person will get the axe when a corporation restructures on the contractor is restructures as the contractor and the middleman. I've seen Walmart par back from outside contractors to start hauling even more of their own freight via the private fleet. The grocery side used to be primarily outside contractors. Walmart is notorious. I used to be a contractor for Walmart in a different industry. They're notorious for using contractors, learning what they're doing, figuring it out, and then actually hiring some of the contractors to become employees to teach them how to figure it out themselves. Just like Amazon. Amazon said, you know what? Screw UPS, screw FedEx, screw the post office. We're going to do it our dang selves, and we're going to do it in a way that minimizes our risk. Next thing you know, you see a bunch of Amazon trailers with these mom and pop carriers on the side of the road, and you wonder why your package is late. But they don't care, do they? They cut their costs. CDN says, I would say that's somewhat accurate, Sean. Brokers and carriers are valves and shippers that can turn on and off anytime they want. Sage says, how many people would a shipper have to hire to handle their own freight? We're not going to get, I understand, but I can't have this life too much longer. God, I can't talk today. With today's tech Sage, that depends on the size of the shipper. Either way, the cost savings would be enormous. All right. We're not going to get into discussion of broker versus shipper. And my cat is going to be loud. We have not let him out since the other one got hit by a car. So we've been trying to keep him in, and he's not happy about it. I know that's important in this conversation, but, I just figured, you're probably hearing him right now. All right. So the shipper would definitely have more wiggle room with offering a rate. As far as seeing a bump to the carrier, not so much. Well, that's the thing. If they're paying C.H. Robinson $1,000, you can't sit there and say, well, I'll do it for $1,000 and cut out the broker. They're going to be like, why would we do that? What if your truck breaks down? You have to come in and say, hey, look, I know CH is charging you 1,000. I'll do it for 800. Meanwhile, CH is probably giving you 5. If you cut out the broker, you get his cut. No, it costs the shipper money and handle that they are not your friends in business. DOT, FMCSA uses safety as a reason for compliance. Government in general does, right? Oh yes, I have a broker's cut change jar. The shipper isn't going to give me more money because no broker. We're up to 71 point, Lance. Thank you for pointing that out. I must be saying something right or wrong. Who knows? I know a lot of people that say a lot of wrong things on YouTube and get a lot of attention. How's the freight volume looking? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I've got no trucks to dispatch this week. Everybody's on vacation. And I think Don might need some help later this week, but he's booked, I think, for a while. And so I've got a doctor's appointment, so I haven't looked at a Loadboard yet. We made an announcement on 123 Loadboard. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that about how they're raising the rates. First time in 10 years, whereas DAT seems to do it every year. So CDN says, so many here, Obi Sean, Mark Ely think brokers are useless and so easy. I know different. I won't waste time convincing you. Neither have been a broker and have expertise to comment. Elon says AI will kill us all within 10 years. I believe it. We're like Terminator was a documentary, not a futuristic movie. All right, so you guys are going to argue. So you got me to dispatch, boss? Cool. Just know I got a doc's appointment here coming up today. Cheap Freight Hauler just got a green light, so time to go trailer truck and have a great day, everyone. Thank you for your contributions, Cheap Freight Hauler. I appreciate you. So, anyways, so you guys, so Obi Sean and CDN are having a discussion, and Sage is in there. So I wish I can continue this, but to me, it's broker versus direct shipper. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. It depends on the shipper, it depends on the carrier, it depends on the broker. I know a guy that's used the same broker for these loads. That broker's been in that with that shipper for 15 years. He gets a good rate, and he's survived the downtimes because of their relationship. If you can create a relationship with a direct shipper and make that work, that's fine. But the Procter and Gambles and the international papers and Pepsi and Coke logistics, it's going to be more of a challenge than the mom and pop place making bolts and nuts for the automotive industry. So I mean, it's just like that. I've worked directly with shippers, and I've also worked directly with brokers that have direct relationships with shippers. At the end of the day, either way, it's about reducing their costs. And if you can't offer that, then they don't want it. They don't want to talk to you. And if a broker can offer that cost reduction versus a driver or a contract or a carrier, then more power to it, right? That's how it's going to go down. So those arguments are it's just noise to me. I guess carrier dispatches are redundant and Swift can fire their entire back office. Drivers and shippers will easily manage everything. You guys got CDN all fired up. I'll say this. As a one-truck operator, it's hard to babysit a direct shipper. Sometimes the load is not ready when you're ready to go, so you have to just sit at home another day. The other element is to get into direct shippers, you have to have equipment. You might even need an extra trailer. And then also, you still have to check their credit because a lot of brokers are extending their days to pay because the shippers aren't paying them. They've extended their days to pay. Why? Because their costs are high and they're trying to make it look good on numbers, on the paper. So that's another element that you have to think about when doing this game that we call logistics. The big place will eventually just follow the Amazon business model for shipping. Sage says, I'm also a shipper. I now ship freight for real, not joking. So, anyways, so thanks for showing up. I got to go. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry we didn't get to any Loadboard stuff. We'll look at volumes. I'll take a look at volumes and we'll see what Wednesday brings. Make sure you type you also subscribe to Snorler OG and watch me talk about other things outside of the trucking. You love the meowing in the background? Yeah, he's mad. I wonder if a driver will argue with a shipper like they do a broker. That's funny. Jeff says he is here. Start over. So, anyways, guys, thanks for all the input. You guys are awesome. So 71 people in here. Thank you very much. Strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Think about what I've said. If it brings you fear, anxiety, or anger, you got to figure out why. And if it's just because of my beard, well, I can't help how beautiful I look. So with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Aggression turns to screws. Peace.